Comedian John Crist in the studio. What's up, man?
Good in the studio.
In the
baby.
studio.
Back at it.
Hey.
How many times have I been on now, do you think?
Several.
How do you be a reoccurring guest?
I would say
how
three.
often do you have to come
I think
by?
if you've
Once
been,
a quarter?
I think if you've been by once, no, I think if you've been by twice, you're a reoccurring.
Oh yeah, I
guest.
guess by the definition.
So yeah.
You're like, oh, this guy's been on the show before.
I want you guys to listen to something, all right?
Oh no.
Okay. Is that the America's Most Wanted or whatever?
No.
Unsolved Mysteries.
Unsolved
yeah.
Mysteries. And I will say this, that it's the best TV theme song ever made.
Yeah, you think so?
No.
Are you kidding me?
Dude, yeah. Listen.
I'd say this is also close second.
That may be one of the greatest ever.
X-Files.
Yeah.
This gets me hyped.
Well, I used to love me some X-Files.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
there's like trap remixes and all that kind of stuff of the X-Files theme, and it's really hot.
Would they play that and then they would do a little teaser and then play that and then get into it, right?
Yeah.
They would do
Yeah,
a little
I think so.
90 seconds about we're at the crime scene, we're at the whatever, and then they'd play that.
You know my favorite character in all that was the smoking man. He was
Oh, he
so,
was so
mysterious.
mysterious.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's
like
that guy
me.
smoking?
What's that?
Who said that?
Wait,
What is this? Right?
I've never been with anything less than
It's the Fall Guy?
Yeah, I'm kind of going back
Oh, yeah.
a little bit. A little bit.
I was going to go Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I thought we were moving the other way. He goes back to the 60s.
No. We're
Oh, let me hear this. MASH?
no.
Oh, yeah.
A-Team.
Shoot.
It's A-Team.
B.A. Baracus, I pity the fool.
That's a good one.
Ba da 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 da. Bubba will know this one.
Is it Airwolf?
Yes.
Really? Oh, I was going
How impressive is that?
Yeah.
Well,
Is that
it was
Airwolf?
It was a helicopter sound.
to... No, he didn't know the first one, but he knew Airwolf. Immediately.
Immediately. It's just from helicopter sounds.
What did you say, Schaefer?
That was Baywatch.
That's Baywatch?
This is Baywatch.
Wow.
What did you watch growing up? Do you watch?
Well,
we
we didn't have a TV growing up because we were very religious. My dad's pastor, Pentecostal, so we didn't believe in TV.
I went to a Pentecostal church. We had a TV.
What happened?
You know what we split off from? Well, what happened to you? You know we split off. We split off for the people who had the snakes.
Oh, yeah,
we had snake handlers.
Yeah, he split from them.
Yeah. We were like, hey, you know what? We love Jesus and all,
Yeah.
but that's just a bit much.
Yeah, but looking
Just a bit
back,
much.
if you had to choose a side, excitement-wise,
Oh man,
you
tell
might have should have gone that way.
Dude, you remember taking your friends to your church for the first time?
And you're like, please don't do anything
Please
crazy.
My dad, before he lit up, his foot would bounce. He would
What do
do
you mean?
this.
What do you mean lit up?
Oh, he would start in tongues and
Oh,
do the
start
whole
go-
thing,
okay,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
start
yeah, yeah.
and yell it, just
You knew
right in the
he was
middle of the thing.
coming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and all of a sudden,
yeah.
da 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 da, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah.
And my buds, who were
This is so different to me,
my
man.
buds,
Yeah.
they're
didn't
like
experience
We're going to lunch after this to
they're like
discuss our
Episcopalian or
trauma.
something
yeah.
like that.
Nothing.
You know, it's like na 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 na, and they come to our church, and I got a guy who is he delivers for Pepsi.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
playing guitar. The girl playing the piano.
Sure.
Yeah, she's a stay-at-home mom, and the piano's not in tune, and an old lady's just running up and down the
yeah.
pew.
We should do intro music, but guess the denomination. We'll do that next time.
Dude, don't get me started. You know I will. I'll be like, with all heads bowed, no one looking around.
Yeah. I always think about that about about things that I go to. Like you go to a NASCAR race, you go to a country concert. If somebody that like never had experienced this came in, would they be like, "Oh, I get it. This is unbelievable," or be like, "This is
What?
like a monster truck"? Like you'd be like, "What?"
What is happening?
What is
that
happening?
a giant? Is that a truck? Looks like a dog. Is it doing flips? Are those ears?
They're like,
This
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Is this your church?
No, I just grabbed something.
Like, man,
This was
I
always.
respect this.
This was close to my church, though.
there's people driving to work crying right now, and calling their wives to go, "I'm so sorry." After just
did
hearing.
not-
Let's hope so.
Mine was like Gold City Quartet. You know, it's basically Christian Statler Brothers is all we listen to
Yeah.
constantly.
They-
All right.
Yeah, they get you in there.
Yeah, all right. John Crist with us. We'll come back and talk more with Mr. John. What's going on in Chris World? It's on the way. Hang on.
Let's do it.
John Crist in the studio hanging out. Oh, I wanted to tell you, I saw a clip of you and Paisley together.
Oh yeah,
That was fun.
it was a good time, man.
Yeah, you guys are just singing along. He's a great sense of humor.
One of the best.
He is
one of the best. Great sense of humor. And you think about it, because he's going to come on my podcast here in a couple of weeks. Like all of his songs, now that you look back on it, are all very humorous.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like water, like alcohol. It's like it's a setup.
Yeah,
and the chorus is the punchline.
Check you for ticks.
Each one of
funny.
those songs literally was a comedy routine in 3 minutes.
What is it? He's like, we brought you together in high school, made you, I don't know the words, but made you make some poor choices. And you're like, what? And then he goes, alcohol. And they were like, dude, hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm going to
Check You
miss
for
her,
Ticks
the
is-
same thing.
It's a joke. It's funny because it's like a misdirection.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All of his songs.
I'm trying to think of some of the other artists that are like genuinely
funny.
Brad for sure.
But like off stage, a lot of them got a good sense of humor. But like,
Vince is fun, but his is like such sleight of hand stuff.
oh yeah,
His is like he'll be on the air talking to you and like do a joke, and like his joke is like an eye twitch or
You
something.
get it,
like,
but
what?
you don't
Yeah.
get it for a week and a half.
It's
And then
so
all of a sudden you go,
smart.
oh my gosh.
this
like,
guy.
that was
is
really
good. Yeah. Sometimes those you know, like the lyrics are like written, and you go, like I was at that Eric Church. He was doing that residency down at and it's like I pledge allegiance to the hag. It's like Merle Haggard, but it's like to the foot. It's always like country's great at that, being like
just a little. It sounds like it. It's a beer.
You're like,
everything's
like,
anything that has a beer.
oh yeah, like Breland has that song like In the Woods, but it's WOULDS. Like I would have. Like
that's
they're always
smart.
like
That's really smart.
Or like where was I around the other day, and this girl was singing a song about 2-story house, but she meant like her and her sister live different lives, like different.
God!
And you go, country's great at that.
They're
You know
the
what I'm saying?
best.
Oh,
You know what's funny is because, and we get knocked. Country gets knocked as being the redneck,
Simple
white
to-
trash.
It's simple
Yeah.
music for simple people.
Yeah, I drink beer and drugs.
Yeah.
We have that.
Yeah.
And you know what? Florida Georgia Line got so much hate after the fact. It wasn't hot anymore with the whole bro country stuff.
Yeah, they all turned on it. But dude, have you ever heard that song Colorado? That song, the lyrics of that song, it's like it was talking about getting high, but it was for neighbors with marriage or something. It's just like, dude, if you like, this is brilliant.
All the double entendres are
And you're
in
gonna
there.
probably clip that, and that's the only thing you see. Florida Georgia Line is brilliant, and that's all you're gonna hear from this interview.
Actually, they were, though.
I stand by it. I stand by it.
And
They
they
were.
they would still be together if it wasn't for their women.
It was Joey.
I'm telling you.
It was Joey Moy, wasn't it? He was the author behind all that, wasn't he?
I don't know. I think
dude,
you
they're
kind
so
of
good.
out countryed us. I'm not real sure. You're so inside the industry.
Well, we did I'm not inside that Morgan song about to like take a look and catch a couple logs on a bunch of hogs.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote the book. You're like,
Oh, yeah.
If you know what that is,
Yeah.
hip hop is the same. Like they have the insider like culture, and ours is just about like fishing and like being outside. It's like,
It's the same way in Wade in the Truck.
yep.
When Hardy wrote, it was him and a couple other guys talking about a judge under the seat.
Yeah.
And a judge is also a Taurus judge.
Yep.
Gun. It's
If
a
you
gun.
know, and then you go, that's brilliant.
But
Yeah.
if you didn't know that
It
the
still makes
brand,
sense.
That's
or
what makes it great.
The brand
Yeah.
and model, you would still think the gun was being the judge, but
Yeah.
it also was actually the judge. So it was like there was 3 meanings all in once.
Yeah, and
I
I had one of my first tours was called the Captive Thoughts tour. So there's a popular Bible verse that goes, "Take all the thoughts captive." Like thoughts come, and then you like decide which ones to say, which we don't do a great job of. But
which we're
but
not
if
practicing.
if you were like if you didn't know anything, you'd be like, "Oh, okay, that's like." But if you were a Christian, you go, "Oh,
Right.
I know what this is." That's what makes I think the country culture great.
I think that's what also why you're so successful is you have tapped into an audience that is country, Christian, in America. And
Yeah,
it's
which is a lot of people. It's a lot. Turns out it's a lot of people.
who knew? We started counting all.
Yeah.
They're all at their Chick-fil-A. They're all there. You've dialed it in, man.
Well,
You've got the formula.
Yeah, well, you got there's this idea like in this country where you go, hey, we'll joke around about the snake handling churches of our what you call the generation past. You go, hey, we can probably throw that out, but like something about like the faith practice and like I'm not willing to turn on all of it. There's a lot of good people
There's some
there.
good stuff in there.
A lot.
Don't throw the baby out in the water or whatever.
What's that in Corinthians?
Second.
Yeah.
John Crist with us. We'll come back and we'll talk some podcasting on the way next. Hang on. Comedian John Crist in the studio and hanging out with him. And how's the podcast going, man?
Oh, man.
I enjoy it. It's
great.
It's
man.
really well done.
It's fun. Thank you. It's we always have things that if listeners send in the clips, listen, because what's funny about the culture today is speech is so protected, which makes comedy great. So everybody, unfortunately, you see a meme on Instagram, someone sends it to you, it has 300 likes and 3 million shares. Because everybody goes, well, I got a job, I got a family. I'm not putting a like on this.
Because
but I'm going to send it to all my buddies.
I'm going to sign my name on that.
No.
You want me to co-sign a
I
loan
want
for
you to
this?
see this off the record,
Yes.
but I did not like it.
That's which makes comedy great. Everybody's like, it must be tough to be a comedian now in the culture that we live in, so sensitive. I go, no, the opposite. Because that's what they drew the line like right here. So all you have to do is step across it.
Just a toe.
Yeah,
And it's like,
like we were like, I don't know. Harrison Butker might have had a good point or two. Like
You're
that's
right.
all we said. Like we don't agree with. It was way out of pocket, but we go and then
just an eye thing. Something Vince Gill will go.
yeah. That's all you got to say.
Yeah, that's
what makes it perfect. That's what makes it great because when you do come to all the theaters all around the country, people come in there and like there was something about. I mean, these politicians and these people sending in just the wildest things, and you go, "Do you got a comment on that?" I go. No, but everybody knows.
But they know.
Everybody knows.
The joke's already said. It's just
yeah.
not needed to be said.
And everybody, it's such a like we stopped the podcast the other when we were done recording, and then my co-host and we were just talking about like, man, everybody's just like silently going along with it, and we don't even have to say live what we're talking about. Everybody knows,
Right.
And you just kind of like, well, you know, I got a mortgage, I got 2 kids in school. I got and then you just
I had
go.
this conversation with a friend 2 nights ago.
Everybody,
It was the exact same thing. It was like, because he took a stand and he's paying the price for it.
We're not even talking about him specific, but like all the things.
All of them.
And then you just go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, no, his business is
just
getting
Vince Gill it.
canceled.
Yeah, of course.
Because of that. And
Yeah.
he's like, well, what's going on? And I'm like, dude.
You're an idiot.
You should have known where that line was.
Just share it. Don't like it.
Yeah, and don't say anything.
No.
And then you'll be up for all the country awards.
What?
That's how it works.
That's how it
works, dude.
Yeah, you can't
Hey,
do.
if you want to be up for a country award, all you have to do is go along with everything and not sell tickets. And then you're going to win everything. You're going to win everything.
Is that the way it works?
And you know why Zach Bryan and Luke Combs and Morgan Wallen don't win anything? Because they got sold out stadium shows that night.
Yeah, they're busy.
They're busy,
Yeah,
dude.
Luke can't be at the ACM.
Sorry.
He's making money.
Sorry, he's a little busy.
Yeah, there's no one else is. They're not paying you at the ACM awards.
And no one wants to win and go to video.
And also, I also feel that at a certain level, like Wallen and Luke and these guys, like, don't you think that they can call ahead? Can they call someone and go,
Yeah.
hey, did we win?
Of course, dude.
And
Hey,
they're like, okay, gotcha. Thank you. I won't be there.
Because I would have to cancel a stadium show if I go.
Do I need to take my jet all the way back from L.A. to Nashville? Is it important to Dallas?
There's a famous story about Sebastian Maniscalco, who's the biggest one of the biggest top 10 comedian, probably top 5, doing arenas, doing stadiums everywhere, right? So the MTV like music war or whatever, one of the MTV awards called him like, can you present an award? And like they're kind of disconnected with the country, like they don't know about me. That are selling. They don't know about Nate Bargatze. They don't. They're in their own world.
Yeah.
Like, hey, can you come present an award? Like this is going to be a big opportunity for him. And he goes, well, no, I got a show. And they're like, well, just cancel it. And he's like, my check has 2 commas in it for tonight.
Right.
What? So you can come present like JoJo Siwa with like the whatever. I mean, I don't know how to say it, but
You said it.
You go,
Yeah,
sorry, dude,
you
I
ruined
did,
your own
well,
thing.
that's-
You're
hang
just
it.
you're learning. You know,
Come on.
It's just,
But
hey, listen. You know.
You go, no, dude, I can't. But we know who's going to be there.
Right.
We know who's going to be at the award shows.
Right. We don't need it. We don't need it.
All right. So where do people find your podcast? What's it called? The whole thing, so they can go and search you out.
It's mostly this. I'm just going to clip this and put it on the pod. The Net Positive podcast with John Crist is what it's called, and we just started a brand new tour in the fall. Jokes for Humans.
Oh,
Jokes
nice.
for Humans.
Coming to 23 cities across the country.
Well, dogs are people too.
Ah, shoot, I'm canceled, dude. Dang it,
You're done, man. Congrats on everything.
Jokes for Beings. Thank you, man. Thank you, man.
You're so refreshing. It's fun, and you're likable, and that's the key to life is being likable.
That's probably it. And show up for the award shows.
Show over. Hey, this is Luke. We win anything? Doesn't look like. Okay, bye. He doesn't even say bye. He just hangs up.
Like in the movies.
Yeah, they sang up.
Well, they whenever the last one Morgan came to, he didn't win anything, and he was sitting there the whole time, and he performed like those are the best performances. He goes, wait, why am I here?
What, yeah.
He probably called his agent, and he goes, hey, let's not do these anymore.
Toby Keith did that for years.
For years.
What?
Until he finally won, and he wasn't
show
even
up.
there.
Yeah, he didn't show up. He
Yeah,
showed up.
He's like, I'm doing this. Why would I leave Oklahoma and go over there? I want to.
And
Well,
then-
no, that night he was on the bus with Willie.
Oh,
It was one of the best stories ever. He's like, yeah, I've decided to skip it. Willie invited me to the bus. I'm like, Toby, yes, of
Come
course,
on.
that's the night you win.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that checks out.
It's good to see you, brother. Thank you. John
Let's
Chris.
go, baby.
John Chris, everyone. Well, because over the years, teenage kids have told you to like and subscribe, we don't have to say that anymore.
You know what to do.